So we talked very much about the editorial content that we created, but it wasn't just about editorial, because we know so well that video works incredibly well across all of our different content, and there are very other sources that we have available to us. So we created something called Great Unknown, which was a really fun little series that we created around history, sport, shopping, food. Some little quirky facts that you might not know about Britain. You might not know that the Queen is the only person in Britain who doesn't require a passport. You might not know that in Harrods, when they opened the world's first escalator, they had to give people a little glass of brandy just to settle their nerves. It's a little bit new. So we created a number of little video series. We don't have a clip today to show you, but these are all available through our YAHOO platforms or on Visit Britain TV. We also wanted to leverage Flickr. This is really important for us. We had a group that had been running for a couple of years, had 600 contributors, we had about 11,000 images in the group. 90% of the imagery you'll see on visitbritain.com or on our social media channels comes from our Flickr group. But what we wanted to do was, we felt there was an opportunity to refresh the group, bring it in under the great branding, but also review the terms and conditions on that group to make sure that we could use those images a little bit far and further and wider. So use them across all of our digital platforms, using our above-the-line advertising, and crop them and edit them according to our purposes. You might feel that Flickr users might not want to do that, but in 12 weeks, when we relaunched the competition with YAHOO, we had 1,000 contributors within the 12-week period and 11,000 images submitted. And if you have a look on, we've got a new site called The Love Wall. There's some beautiful imagery on there that's all coming from our Flickr group. So that's a fantastic resource for us as well. But, as we said earlier, there are some pretty hard targets that we have to hit. So whilst we're telling the story, this is very much about bums on seats. We want to make sure that people are coming to Britain. So in Australia, on the YAHOO 7 hub, we worked with Virgin Atlantic Airways. We co-branded that activity, Virgin and Visit Britain. We had Virgin content in that hub. And basically, we created a space that they could co-own with commercial offers to make sure that whilst we had this audience who were really engaged and really interested, we could push them through to a booking opportunity. And then we also worked with British Airways. And British Airways across US, India and Japan, we also then created co-branded hubs for those markets with bespoke BA content, Visit Britain content, and again, compelling offers to bring people through. So this was the flexibility that the relationship that we had with YAHOO. Didn't just have to be Visit Britain and YAHOO, it could be our commercial partners as well that we could have brought into the mix.
So in the end, the kind of sum of all of the content was written editorial from YAHOO, additional content from the other line from Visit Britain themselves, a video series, and video is increasingly important, as I'm sure you all know, in the online space through the capability, the better quality of players, and certainly for YAHOO it's one of our key drivers. And then we also created Flickr galleries, as Phil said. A lot of this was optimised for mobile as well, which was also important to talk about that three-screen experience. And it's certainly something that resonates with different types of audiences, and we found that through the research, which I wasn't intending to share because perhaps a bit in depth, but it's fascinating to see what kind of things, content-wise, are working across the different platforms. I think that's probably another presentation in its own right. We had, as part of the campaign, a media budget to spend on advertising. So far we've just talked about content, which is a key driver for us, but clearly Visit Britain's investment included advertising. What these are here is different ad formats that the creative design team in YAHOO in the UK built for Visit Britain, which in itself I think may be placed to the closeness of our relationship, that instead of using the agency to build these, we created these ad formats, and they're different things around culture, shopping, heritage and sport. We ran these and we retargeted them to the people who looked at the editorial content, so we'll be able to use the data again and serve the right ads to the right people. All of this driven to visitbritain.com website, which is much more about real information about when you come to the UK, what you can do, very practical information. And of course that's important because as people get closer to the zero moment of truth where they may buy a flight to come, they want more information about where they're going, where to go, and perhaps less lifestyle content and more functional content. So all of these ads were driving to visitbritain.com. and it achieved great numbers for us. Again, we set, Phil said, I can say it with the client, a 3 million target, and we nearly doubled that on clicks through to visitbritain.com solely from the media that Yahoo were driving, again, good numbers in different regions. And then I just want to show you one slide, because it's important to make this point. I think that content is brilliant for shifting perceptions, building positive attitudes, and likability. But in this case, the media, which is the red line, gave us a nice solid base of delivery to visitbritain.com. Occasionally a big spike when we have some high impact formats like homepage takeover. But actually, the thing that really drove the numbers for this campaign was good editorial. And that's important because I think as we get into this world of content, at the front and centre of everything we do, it can do both jobs. It can do the advocacy piece, but it can do the call to action as well. And I think that's quite a powerful blend. So just in very quick summary, 13 months, over 1,000 articles, hit our targets by the 10-month stage, 9.9 million visits from the editorial, many impressions served for what that number means. Over 2 million clicks through to BA.com as one of the partnerships which Phil talked about. Over nearly 6 million visits to VB.com. And when we weighed together all of the value of this through the editorial, the media, the advertising and other things we did, we believe, and it's independent, so it's just Yahoo marking our own homework, we believe that is 4 times the investment that Visit Britain made in terms of the value of the campaign.
And just to touch on, so this is, we very much talk about trust. This is our Yahoo team. These guys are part of my team at Visit Britain. It's thanks to them that we can create the content and we can create the reach that we do. And obviously, it's not just go back to our VIP clients. Absolutely down the street, were delighted with the activity that we ran and with the great campaign. Krane said that it was a 13-month relationship. Absolutely it was. That 13-month relationship finished at the end of March. The fact that Krane and I are standing here in front of you in Madrid suggests that that relationship continues, and it absolutely does. We've had a lot of fun doing what we've done last year. We've also had some incredible results, and I think that's a relationship that we want to continue with. This isn't just about driving bookings, this isn't just about reach, this isn't just about using high-impact advertising formats. We've also got to enjoy what we do, and we certainly do enjoy that. So, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions at all for us? If we have time for a couple of minutes.
Is there any question? Please. Wait, just a moment.
Hi, so my name's Jeffery. I'm from Ireland, and currently in Ireland at the moment we have the Gathering Ireland campaign. So just kind of from what I see from the Great Britain, there seems to be quite a positive perception of the campaign, even myself looking at it. But in Ireland, I think, in general, there's a negative conception about Gathering Ireland. We often think that it's kind of a money-making scheme. We have this perception that we're inviting Americans over just to spend, I don't know, to drink Guinness and buy green things. And also our ambassador, Gabriel Byrne, who's the Irish ambassador in America, when he came to Ireland, he said a couple of negative things